Turk's head, just tied with all the strings. And then I do one how Albert does, and basically it's taking the artificial sinew and wrapping, folding the strings back over, wrapping, and then folding them back over on themselves again and wrapping.
I will do it all for that.
Right, but I'll let him do that because he's much better. He'll know what to tell you on that. But basically, when I end up with a heel knot, what I do, and I guess Clint liked the way that looked there. Basically, the leather is even with the strings. There's one here that's this one's not quite as even. It's down just a little bit, but what I do when this is basically the foundation has been finished, then I'll take and cut the strings off here so that they're flat. Then what I'll do is I'll take a punch and just cut out a circle the size of that end strings. Like here's your heel knot, here's all your strings cut out. This is looking at the very end like this. I'll take and cut a disc with just a round leather punch, same size as this.
That's of leather?
Yeah, out of leather. Probably 2 ounce, 3 ounce. It's fairly light. You could get technical and say basically you want that thickness to be almost the thickness of your string that you're going to use. Then I'm going to take another piece of probably 2 ounce. I generally use scrap kangaroo that I have, and cut another piece. So right now I've got a little disc like this, and then I'm going to cut another piece that's about that big out of 2 ounce. And I'll wet that, and then I'll take something to form around this so that basically it's going to look like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's probably right in the way here. But that's what it's going to look like. And this will be all feathered out, this leather on each end, and it's going to be just a round disc. And then I will take and glue that to the top, and just
move over on this side here to the camera and get that.
take anything that you can, a smooth rub stick or whatever, and work that so that disc, the first disc that you had here, is causing that to protrude, and then your other lays down. It's fairly simple process. You just have to kind of make sure that everything is centered where you want it. Then you can, I've done it 2 ways. You can just leave it like that. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get your strings to lay in there exactly where you want. Sometimes they want to still move up even though you've got a collar there. Then a lot of times I'll take and when that's laid on the heel knot, and here's your raised area, I'll take some little tacks, and I won't put them right on the edge. I'll put them right about here. Just some little shoe tacks, really fine ones. And then I can run my strings, and the strings will run up, up there on the bites. They'll run up close like that. As you fill in, then I pull those tacks out. And then it works that knot up, and you have to kind of watch that you don't get too drastic because it will work completely over that if you don't watch out. But you can work that up and keep working it to where it basically comes up and you have a nice smooth finish.
So the top of your knot is at the end of the heel knot as you're braiding?
Exactly, right. The reason that I did this, and I don't know. I think Ortega and a lot of those other guys, they had specific things that they did that made their work recognizable. Albert's has got a red knot down here, a ring knot. That's kind of his distinguishing thing. I just wanted to be able to put my brand of some kind on it. So that's why I'd do that, and then I'd put the Elkhorn brand on it. There's a lot of hackamores that I've done out there that don't have a mark on them that, I don't know if I would recognize them 20 years from now or not, but this is kind of a neat way. There's also been ways, I'm not sure if Leland or Nate's done a few, but they've done this similar and then put silver in it. Put a silver concho in there. You can put a name, brand on that, whatever. But that's basically how I came up with that. It's not difficult. It's just a little more time consuming. And in the fact that you don't have strings out there that you can run your knot strings up against real hard. So you have to kind of use a little bit more finesse when you're putting your knot on here to make sure that your bites are all pretty even. You don't get any too tight and too loose, because it will, as you start filling in, if you're working color interweave or anything like that in it, it will start moving on you. And you got to kind of watch that it doesn't move in the wrong place. So that's, but like I say, I'm not going to show you how Albert does his heel knots, because he's the best one that would be able to tell you. And
What about the front disc there where you punch those two holes and run your body through them before you start tying your heel knot foundation?
oh, right down here. Once again, that's just a piece of kangaroo hide that I have. I've got quite a bit of that scrap, and when I have the foundation basically built up, tape, leather, sinew, whatever you're going to use, then to finish it, and so I don't have any tape or anything, if I don't put a wedge in it, then I want to have something that's going to look kind of halfway finished. So I'll take another kind of an oval, and if it's a 1/2 inch Bozell, then I want to take and punch 2 1/2 inch holes right there. That's basically cut through there. And then you'll have to cut out to the side. And then I'll just take and lay that in there, glue it down smooth, and then then those ends just go in and basically meet in the middle, and gives you more of a finished edge on the inside.
I've done that kind of approach a lot, where I just punch my 2 holes with maybe just that much in between them, and slide them ahead, and then kind of build my foundation, and then slide it back down, so you don't have to cut out the side, and then just braid over that, and then it works real clean. Yeah.
And depending on how you do your heel knot foundations, I don't know as it would work that well in the way Albert does, because he has a jig set up. And you know, when you slide that up here, you're going to have this like this.
Yep.
If your jig is not set up to do that, you can't do it. You'd have to have it down here. And that's the reason why I just slid it out here.
Well, this is only up there just temporarily while you get your kind of basic foundation laid, then you slide it back down, and your jig spot back up and start raising. Yeah.
The one thing about this is, if you do, say you do slide it down and then continue your foundation, you're going to go over the top of that.
Right.
And what I like to have is that leather being the final piece. That way, if there is anything here that's going to show, it's going to show the leather. It's not going to show your foundation, whatever, tape or whatever. It's only going to be your kangaroo that shows there or here.
I did it with about 8 ounce black bridle leather.
Yeah.
I'm taking skirting leather, 10, 12 ounce skirting leather, punch 2 holes in it, and slid it up, and I'd feather out the edges of it,
Right.
so that just a little bit above and below and around, so that when I'd put my ring knots, do whatever I was gonna do, then before I taped it or put the string on it, I put it back wet, put it back in there and glue it down, and that was my block. That makes a block.
Exactly.
You had it spaced then, your whole space.
Yeah, the whole
block.
hole would be 3/8 of an inch apart,
Right.
something like that. And that helped spread that, and that would be my block. And then how that would come back over and glue it down and everything, and it would.
Right.